I think it's finally time to revisit that topic, because we're basically halfway through the Fighter Pass of DLC, so we're at a good point in time now to really make an educated guess. Looking at the past trends of the previous DLC fighters, as well as comments Sakurai has made to really make an educated guess for who these last final remaining newcomers could be.
It was announced that we will be working on even more DLC fighters. That's right. So all your predictions and speculations and fake leaks were for nothing. I really enjoyed watching your DLC predictions video, Jammer. My favorite part is how you thought there would only be 2 more DLC fighters. LOL. You have no idea what's coming for you.
Hey everybody, I'm Jammer. In the last Nintendo Direct, well, actually, excuse me, in Sakurai's last Smash Bros. Presentation, not only was the next fighter, the 4th fighter of the Fighter Pass announced being Terry Bogard from the SNK series, Terry Bogard from the Fatal Fury series, a SNK property. There we go. It's no secret that there's been a little bit of a mixed reception just because, he's not as a familiar character as many of the others are who actually are in the Fighter Pass. What might be even more important than the announcement of Terry Bogard, or maybe even more important than the Sans Mii Fighter costume, okay, maybe they're like on par, is the fact that Sakurai will be continuing DLC past the Fighter Pass. Sakurai, my man, like, no, what? He don't deserve this man. He is too good for this world. He was absolutely generous when at the start of Smash Ultimate, he's like, hey, we're gonna release 5 DLC characters in addition to this surprise character, that came out near launch, Piranha Plant. It was very different to Smash U. Well, Smash U was a lot more ambiguous, where it's like, hey, we're making DLC characters, and we kind of just got a new announcement every once in a while, and we were kind of getting the feeling of maybe there's a couple more coming, maybe not. We knew that there was the ballot going on in the background, but we really didn't know if our voting was contributing to all of the DLC characters or just one. It was kind of a mixed bag. So right off the bat, Sakurai coming out and saying, hey, you're getting 5 characters. That's it. It kind of leveled the expectations for everyone. Like, okay, this is what we got. This is what we can work with. This is what we can predict. Or this is what we can pretend to fake leak. Now that's completely thrown out the bag. My whole predictions video talking about who could be the last 2, blah, blah, it doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter anymore. We'll likely get the trailer for the final Fighter Pass newcomer coming out at the Game Awards this year. For that character is then released to be early next year. But then where do we go from here? I have a couple of ideas of how they might go about it. Categorized kind of by realistic expectations, higher expectations, super high expectation, way too high expectations. Let's just start simple and start small. Since we've already gotten 6 DLC fighters in total for Smash Bros. Ultimate, and with the announcement of, hey, there's more DLC coming, we look at it kind of small scale, being like, okay, perhaps this is just Sakurai and the dev team kind of looking at their progress with the 5 fighters that they have included so far, and realizing, hey, you know what? We have enough funding to continue longer. Or maybe they're like, hey, these are selling really well. Maybe it's a good idea to continue to roll out the DLC for a little bit longer. Or maybe another case scenario could have been like, they projected how long each character would take to make, but then they realized they were making them quicker than they expected, or maybe it wasn't as resource heavy as they were anticipating. So then, the developers realized, hey, we could include a little bit more as a little bonus to fans. A great example of this already in Smash Bros. History is the inclusion of the previous, well, they weren't Echo Fighters at the time, but the characters that were in Smash Bros. Wii U, Lucina, Dark Pit, Dr. Mario, they were just bonus characters. They were characters that were really an afterthought. They're like, hey, we have some extra dev time. Let's throw in a couple of Echoes to, give the roster a little more variety. This could be a similar situation with the DLC in general, where, they've anticipated a certain amount of development time for the Fighter Pass and realizing, hey, you know what? We have a little bit more time. We have more funding to continue this project. And so maybe it's just kind of to give back to fans in that way. Going in line with how, I said there's kind of a mixed reception to Terry Bogard, this kind of goes along perfectly with it, be saying, here's Terry Bogard. But don't worry, everyone, there's still a chance for your favorite character to make it into Smash. So the realistic expectation going down this route anyways would be like, maybe they're just gonna go piecemeal for a little while. They already stated that these next fighters, however many there might be, are not included in the current Fighter Pass. They will be their own things going forward. So they could be just, they could throw us a couple more. If we get the final Fighter Pass character in February, they could throw us maybe 3-ish more, give or take, just kind of periodically throughout the rest of the year to conclude that year as well. Like I said, that's a realistic expectation. Now, let's get in to a high expectation. What if the next set of DLC fighters is a Season 2, Series 2 of a Smash Fighter Pass? Another brand new pass that you can pre-order and pay upfront for the standard pricing that the previous one was, and they'll already be lined up for another 5 fighters. Like I said, I think that would be a little high expectations. It could be a possibility. Because like I said, you know, with Smash Ultimate, I really loved how, right off the bat, Sakurai's like, this is how many to expect. Don't get, you know, this is what we're doing, you know? And it's gonna be a weird situation where, you know, once this fighter pass concludes, then we'll be back in that kind of loop of, okay, how many more fighters can we expect now with this continuation of DLC? It could be a very, very realistic possibility that they could continue a brand new fighter pass for us with a listing right off the bat of this is how many characters to expect. Perhaps maybe it won't even be 5 total to kind of match the same fighter pass. It might be just 4 or however many there might be. Maybe right off the bat the dev team might just disclose right there saying, hey, this is kind of where to level your expectations. So then the endless loop of predictions can start yet again. The reason I'm not entirely certain on, you know, that being kind of the reality we might have it's just because I don't know if the development team actually knows realistically how many characters they can pump out continuing after this fighter pass. It sounded like to me, at least in the announcement in the direct anyways, it seemed like they're coming at it with the approach of, hey, we have some extra manpower here, we can continue this a little bit longer. So I think it would be unfair of us to completely expect another brand new fighter pass in addition to the one we already have. But I can't rule it out entirely. It could very well be what we might be anticipating. Maybe it'll be announced alongside in the Game Awards as well as the trailer for the new character, or perhaps in a Smash Bros. Direct when they show off Terry Bogard himself, they could also disclose maybe like what's going on. Now, if you thought those were high expectations, just another fighter pass, get ready for super, super, super high expectations. Sakurai and his team just goes nuts. Maybe we get a fighter pass centered towards first party characters, or perhaps we even just get a fighter pass for a collection of Echo characters. And I'm not saying within the span of another year. What if Sakurai and his team take the kind of route that maybe like other competitive games, like I think Street Fighter V did something similar, or even kind of how Overwatch does it, where it's like a continuously updating game with new characters. I mean, obviously that was Overwatch is an example where the updates come for free. So in this case, then obviously it would be premium. What if they take Ultimate and rather just continuing the DLC for maybe 1 more year, they just keep going for maybe another 2 years? 3 years? No, there's no way. Like I said, super, super way too high expectation. But the reason I even bring it up, in a recent speech Sakurai made at the, when he received his reward at that, Game Dev Award thing. Oh my gosh, I'm totally blanking on it, but it's, you know what I mean. Anyway, Sakurai commented on how before Iwata had passed, he had tasked Sakurai to make Smash Ultimate the best Smash that there will ever be. And not only that, has Sakurai commented in the same direct we've been talking about how this Smash Bros. Ultimate is the ultimate collaboration of Smash Brothers. And he said if the series ever does continue in the future and there ever is another iteration of Smash, it'll probably never be able to top what we've been able to do in Smash Run. So he's like, why not keep adding in crazy more characters, more collaborations, more than ever? So then it's like, this is the Smash Bros. To end all Smash Bros. He also commented saying, you know what? I'll continue to make DLC as long as there's an interest. What do you mean, if there's an interest? Sakurai, are you kidding me? As far as if there's an interest, dude, this Smash game's never gonna end then. There's always gonna be an interest in Smash Bros. DLC. Perhaps after a few years, it could definitely like tone down with like the crazy announcements, because there's only so many high profile characters you can get into. You're all of a sudden like, who's left? Who else can we get in? No, I think it'll always be exciting no matter what. So that's why I even bring up the idea of this way too high expectations. Putting all fighter passes and all crazy stuff aside, what if Smash Bros. Ultimate just becomes a platform where the development team is able to work closely with the community as well as the esports community to like just make this game relevant for as long as they can keep doing it. It's hard to say what route they may go just because of how little information we actually know about this upcoming next DLC. Realistically, yes, I could totally see it just being maybe a couple more fighters, like 1 or 2 even. At the same time, I could see him saying, hey, here's 1 more year of DLC for Smash Bros. Here's another fighter pass. Or perhaps he goes even farther beyond that and saying, hey, we are just going to continue to constantly update this game. Stay tuned for more updates for when new characters come out, new stages, whatever they plan to continue to do. I always feel so bad for Sakurai, feeling like he's like trapped in development hell of doing just Smash Bros. Forever. Because whenever he gets the chance to actually experiment outside of that series, Kirby's Air Ride, Kid Icarus Uprising, you know, he makes really fantastic games, but Nintendo's like, well, Smash makes a lot of money, so you should probably... Smash Bros makes Nintendo a lot of money. So if Sakurai can continue to pump out characters throughout the years to come, and it'll keep just pouring into the walls of Nintendo, I mean, you can't argue with that. I don't think it's time just yet to start actually making concrete predictions about what characters might be in this new upcoming wave of DLC, whether it be in a pass or whatever, just because, like I said, we know so little about it. Once we know kind of what structure we're looking at, then I think it'll be a better time to do some more concrete predictions. Until then, I think my previous predictions video that I did before they announced Terry and whatnot still kind of holds up, and a lot of the characters I did talk about do have a lot of possibility to being a character. I personally feel like whatever DLC characters we do see will continue to stay along the same trend as what we've seen so far. New collaborations, new third-party characters, new series collaborations with the series, and like Sakurai even said, he wants to continue to expand the world of Smash Bros. To encompass even more series. I mean, said it right there. I guess it doesn't technically rule out the possibility of him including new representative in already existing series. But from what he said, it definitely makes it seem like, you know, his idea to continue the DLC in the first place is the fact, so then he can continue to make the ultimate collaboration of Smash, of all these companies and all these different developers. But so it'd be kind of weird if you kind of just threw in Bandana D randomly. It's like, even though I know there's a lot of people want them, it's like, I think there's a different kind of level of expectations for these DLC fighters, as well as what new would Bandana D bring to the world of Smash Brothers. But what are your thoughts on the future of Smash Bros. DLC? What are your hopes? Do you think it'll be more piecemeal? Do you think they're gonna actually have a full-blown another fighter pass for a year? Or do you think they might even go even crazier and continue support for this game for years to come through characters, maybe even echoes, alt costumes, Mii costumes, stages, you name it? Let me know that in the comments below. Be sure to give this video a big awesome like, and if you haven't already, definitely subscribe for tons more on Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. See ya!